Hi guys, so a couple of weeks back I went for this wedding where a lot of people I knew, people my age, people younger than me, were talking a lot of crap about the bride at the wedding because of her skin tone. Yeah, apparently she was not, quote unquote, not fair enough. And I was like, did I travel back in time? Is this 2015? Are we in the 1950s or the 1800s? I don't know. I thought we needed to talk about why we are so obsessed with quote-unquote fair skin, with skin lightening, skin brightening. What is it? Are these pre-colonial ideologies? Are these colonial remnants? Or this is Western consumerism? So Imani Franklin notes that, quote, historical indications of colorism had existed beforehand, but it was cemented by the British rule. Glenn, 2008, in a paper called Yearning for Lightness, talks about how colonialists made segregation according to the shade of the native people. So lighter-skinned people of color, women and men, were considered more attractive, more intelligent. Well, basically the men were considered intelligent and the women, if you're light-skinned, were considered more attractive. That's the deal. Glenn also talks about how skin lightening simply is not a legacy of colonialism, but a consequence of the penetration of multinational capital and Western consumer culture. This is basically a nice way of saying that we've internalized the shit out of white beauty standards. Look, I'm not saying these are the only factors, because we can't cast aside pre-colonial colorism, racial hierarchies, Asian royalty, such as the Chinese and the Korean nobility, current Bollywood standards, current Korean beauty standards for men and women. So consumerism and mass marketing work more subtly than colonialism because it needs to make you feel as if you're voluntarily taken in to the preference of fair skin. So basically, you can't tell me what to do or what to buy, but you can envelop me with a truckload of images of Caucasian models, of women of color with lighter skin, and tell me that you need to buy this shit in order to look this particular shade. It's extremely creepy if you think about the fact that global beauty now has reinvented itself as being representative of multiculturalism. So major brands which have always had Caucasian models would have a few light-skinned women of color endorsing or being spokespeople for their products in order to be what Hunter calls the illusion of inclusion. So basically, they will use women of color with lighter skin who are also more Anglo-looking like, to lull the women of color into thinking their beauty standards are being represented and that they can buy into these products. The inclusion of fair-skinned models such as Halle Berry from the US, Aishwarya Rai for L'Oreal, and Genevieve Nnaji, as well as Terry Feto from South Africa. I hope I'm pronouncing all the names right. So these products claim to restore beauty as if it was lost, to reveal and uncover beauty as if it was hidden. Yes, it's hidden in my back pocket. And create natural beauty. This is the best one, as if the consumer didn't have it in the first place. If bleaching has too much of a stigma attached to it, they will use skin whitening, skin lightening, skin brightening, fading creams, fairness creams for us South Asians out there. Despite the euphemisms, the message is completely clear and overt about white beauty as the right and the natural kind of beauty. So much so that we accept the Katrina Kaives and the Jacqueline Fernandezes of this world who are lighter skinned, racially ambiguous identities, whereas alienating their darker skinned counterparts, which I think is completely effed up. We need more Lupita Nyong'os and Nandita Das's saying fuck you to white beauty standards. If someone is to bring up the argument of tanning versus skin bleaching, if someone is to bring up that argument. Agar answer pedal. Hunter notes that the goal of tanning is not to look half black or half Mexican, it is to look white with a tan. Conversely, many women of color are trying to alter the way they are perceived racially, such that people would think, oh, maybe she's half white. The sad situation is no one really wants to talk about the racial identities and the hierarchies that come into being with all of this mass consumerism for skin lightening products, as well as this idea of what being fair and what being dark is. And especially within the South Asian context, you can identify if you know that you've gotten fairer and you've gotten darker have completely two different and polarized suggestions behind them. So we should seriously stop being assholes when everyone is so diverse, and that's what makes our world so much more so better. Yeah, that's it for now. I'll put a works cited kind of thing below. You can check it out if you're more of a nerd and you want to read up more on it. So like, comment, and share, subscribe if you like this kind of thing, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!